So welcome back to the channel, and we're doing a video today on this. Now it says security monitor on it, but it's not a security monitor, it is actually a reversing camera, as the title will suggest in my title description of this video. I'm going to be attempting to fit this to my Ford Transit Connect 2011. We're in 2024, as most people are aware. Most vehicles don't come with reversing cameras on of this age, and if you want to fit one you have to buy something like this. And to be honest, in 2024 there are still vehicles that don't have reversing cameras. So this video may help somebody else who has a car that hasn't got a reversing camera. It cost me 15 quid, can't go wrong for that. So yeah, there are better quality ones on the market, but seeing as this is a van and it's for my work, I thought 15 quid, can't go wrong. At least we'll have an idea of how it'll work with a van anyway. So yeah, I'm going to get this fitted today and hopefully show you how to do it. Be a learning curve for me as well, because I've not done this before. And yeah, so first things first, unbox it. So this is the box. Like I said, it says security TFT monitor on it, vehicle security system. Very compact, very small box. So presumably this is the monitor. Quite small, but at the end of the day it's got to fit on my dashboard, so the less room it takes up the better. And I only want to really see what's going on behind me when I'm reversing anyway. So you have the power, looks like it, and the two signal to receive the signal from the camera. So I'm wondering if it does actually have sound. I don't know, it might do. Some instructions. So presumably this can be connected to other systems as well. That looks like the power connector for the monitor, so that will be going in the dash. And here we have some cabling, so I'm assuming that it's all here, or are we going to have to work it out? Oh, there's the camera. So there you go, that's the camera, and obviously the power and the feed. Don't know what the white one's for, presumably that could be for sound actually. So there looks to be a bit of splicing and soldering to do, maybe when we get to that side of it. So that being said, might as well get it fitted. So this presumably we need to run through the van, and these are obviously the power things. So you have one attached to the monitor and one attached to the camera, I'm assuming, and then you just join them up and find a negative earth on the bodywork. Right, so we know what we've got in the kit. Got a couple of screws there as well, that'll be for the camera. Just going to leave these bits in the box for now, because the first things first is we need to run the cable through the van. Now if you haven't got any of these, you can just use a coat hanger, but these are electricians' pullers. They are designed for pulling cables through, but they work quite well with vehicles. These are the short versions, which obviously gives you better access for getting cables through areas, and I'm going to show you in a minute where I'm going to be running the cable through the van. What we need to do is remove the rear light panel here, and as you can see, this is the conduit that runs the number plate lights on the back of the number plate, because that's where I'll be fitting the camera, and I'll show you that in a minute. You'll see on a van you have access holes all the way around the top. Now that's where I'm going to be running the cable, as it's going to be the easiest and the safest option. It's not getting trapped anywhere then. Another option is to run it completely under the floor, underneath, and bring it up through the floor somewhere. However, you are running a danger of the exhaust, fuel lines, brake lines and whatever else is under there, and it could cause problems later on. At least doing it up through here, you'll have better access for it, and obviously it will run better inside. It'll preserve its life a lot better than running it under the floor. So that being said, we'll crack on and get this undone. So this is where I intend to put the camera. Now I'm assuming it's already had one fitted on here at some point, so it will be in between the two number plate lights, and I think this is what's been fitted here before, because obviously they've left the screws in. So to do that we need to remove the panels on the door itself, which are here, and then we can get to the conduit, rubber conduit there, and start running the cable. What I'll do is I'll run it from the other side and down. It'll probably be easier, and then bring it through the door. So everything basically unclips. You've got like a little push down clip there which releases the multi-plug, and there you can see the grommet and the conduit that runs through the side there. So what we'll be doing is running our cable up through there and bringing it down here and into there to bring it into the back of the number plate section there behind the door. And there you have it, that's the cable up through this hole here. Now we need to get it up through this section here. There's a lot of obstacles in the way in doing stuff like this because of where the panels have been constructed. So we might try and get this up in one full sweep by just feeding it up. Might only need 2 sections of this, I think. Just save. There we go. Hopefully you can see this on the camera, but I've just basically used that to pull it up through there, and then all we need to do is run it across the top sections there. And I mean, you don't really need this cable puller thing on it, but it makes life a little bit easier sometimes. This by far is the trickiest job sometimes, is just running your cable through. So, yeah. So it's now running all the way across that top stretch now, up from the light bottom here. So where the light is there now, we have the wire running up, brought it up through the hole here. Now depending on what vehicle you're working on will determine which holes, access holes you've got. So you just need to find the best route through, and obviously up at the top there it's all exposed anyway. So I could have just run that through, but now we're at the other end where we need to get it into the bulkhead. It's going to mean removing some trims now, so we're going to get that done now. I'm going to get the trims off to see what we're up against and then try and bring it through. Assuming that this is where, and there you go, it just popped straight out. Assuming it's where the handle goes when you're in a car. So what we need to do now is find out if we can get this cable through here. Now I'm assuming, and again I'm doing a lot of assuming here, that it should just come down that kind of angle somewhere, so we're going to have to try and find a cable puller, and we need to bring it down to there somewhere. Move a bit more rubber. These trims here just pull off. Tire up there for some reason, don't know what that's for. And we have a cable there. I need to pull the visor down, but we'll see in a minute. If we can't, yeah, the visor's going to have to come off. What we have, and I mean, apologise for the lighting conditions, so it just pulls away there. There are some access points in the structure. There's one just up there, you can't quite see it. Should be able to get it round there, and obviously there's already a wire running down here, so we should be able to get it through and down into the dashboard, and then that's that job done. All this can be put back. Just let me camera focus, so I'm going to try and get this through. It might have to be off camera, I'm not sure if we can get this filmed, but I'll do my best. Show you what I've done with the cable puller is I've run it through the opposite way, through this hole here, so that it runs straight up, and then so we have the one from the brake light here, and we have the one that I've just shoved up through there. So it's just a case of connecting these two together now, and it should pull it straight through. So just trying to attach that now. Put the camera down maybe. So there we go, attached them both together. Should be able to pull this wire through now. And there we go, it's through. Now I did think about bringing it further across behind the metal, but now I'm thinking, well, it's only a thin wire, so we can just basically just run it down into the dashboard. We can re-clip all this if we leave ourselves with enough. Make sure I'm not pulling it around the other end. So you just basically squeeze that and it should just unclip. It's as simple as that. Managed to do that without removing anything as well because I'm lazy. And then all we need to do is feed this down into here. I'm going to leave this attached. It's just held on with some masking tape, and I think it should be just straightforward. It should just come down. Just trying something stopping it at the top there. So hang on, can we get access? Hang on, that might be a better solution. Right, can we get? Right, I can feel it now. There we go. Right, but it should just port through now. And this is why these are really good, because you have got a bit more control on what the wire's doing. They don't bend as easy, in other words. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start replacing the trims. So I managed to get the air vent console out. It took a bit of doing, did it off camera so you didn't hear me swearing and cursing at it. The clips are really tight on this, but there is some access down through there to get the wire through for the monitor, and I think it can just come up through then, through the actual side or something, I don't know. Might have to drill some holes in it, I suppose, but we'll get there eventually. I'm just going to do that and then see where we're at with it, because obviously the plugs that are on the end won't, you need a massive hole, so I'm just going to knock something out, I think, and then bring it up through. So yeah, we'll do that, I think. So I've managed to get it down into the glove compartment, so I've connected up the wires that need connecting up, colour coded, straightforward. We just need to connect up the power and solder these together. Now I'm assuming you just connect this straight to your reversing light at the rear so it powers up when you're using your reversing camera. However, you could connect it to a live on your ignition, but then you're going to have your reversing camera activated when you're going forwards as well, I suppose. I suppose you could do that. Most of these wires here will be activated from your ignition, but we need to sort out which are which. So what I'll do for now is I'll just do this on the reversing camera because it'll make it a little bit easier, and then it should sort it out for the monitor at the front. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to show you what I've done. So we just need to reattach the light here, and that should be quite simple. Top tip, if you're putting your light back on like that, hold it on with some masking tape, and then you should just be able to get your screws in, the bolts poke through here, and you should be able to get started. Because when you're working by yourself, you need somebody at the other side to hold the light in, so that's why you do that. Improvise. Top tips by me. Can't go wrong, can you? So we just need to get that tidied up as well. At some point I think that goes that way around, that's why it doesn't fit. I think them plastic things there need fitting back on, but we can do that later. It's starting to rain, so I need to get backed up now. I'm going to fix this back on and then swap the camera around quickly. So there we go, I flipped the camera back round so it's the right way up, and I just need to bung a bit of silicone in there. So we'll get that sorted out now. You don't want this wire here chafing on the metal, so bung a bit of silicone in and it should be right then. So we're almost ready for testing. I haven't put everything back yet. I've got the display ready. So it stopped recording on my normal camera. I put it in reverse, switched the ignition on, and then using my multimeter I determined that this wire, third wire on, was the reversing light. I've soldered the positive on, I've soldered the negative onto the negative there, so it's all already bolted to the ground on the bodywork. Obviously we've fixed the camera already. I've managed to thread it through the conduit stuff here. This just needs reattaching. There might be a little bit of jiggery pokery to do that yet, but we need to test all the wiring first. Got it all connected up here. Might tape that up a little bit. Like I said, I've just got to connect it all. I've got to test it all now, so we're going to put the ignition back on now and see whether the display comes up. I'm not sure if I need to connect that up to earth yet or not. I'm assuming it just runs down. It might do actually, I don't know. I'll have to determine this in a minute. I have got somewhere where I can connect it on the dash, so what I'll do now is switch this on. Hopefully we'll have a display. Oh, there we go, it does actually work. The camera's upside down, right, so now, but at least we know it works. So that's just a case of flipping the camera around. But for now what we'll do is we'll get everything back, because it's getting windy. I think it's going to rain, so we'll get everything back now, and then we'll just give it a good test.